Lol, easy game for us. Ooh, Don Lu
We'll see if the confidence is warranted.
Wow. So Twerp's Mortal Team, Evaniscus City, Ghostly Goat, Gatsby, and Xanarate. My Spirit Team, Don Lu, Yagachu, Freezy, Miyane, and Nikken. Let's play Dodgeball. And I think that actually Don Lu said that after my first two picks. I think it was only him and Yagachu, and that was when he said it, if I had to guess.
That's fine. It's good to see they have confidence.
But I do have to say, you are the king of the upset. I was watching you and Scrag do this, and Scrag picked a team of 5 very well-known players, and you picked a team of 5 relatively unknown players, but they were players who had been doing well in the in-houses. And we were all watching the game and talking on, in the client and on Skype and Mumble and whatnot. We were saying Scrag's team is going to crush them, and exactly the opposite happened.
I think I vaguely recall the game you're talking about, but that's my whole. I like those bad news bears kinds of teams. I like the ragtag bunch. I've always loved movies like Major League and Necessary Roughness, like sports movies with Mighty Ducks, all the ones nobody wants, and then they come together and win the big game. That's what I'm about. I'm about the big moments. Sure, they won't have the best record in the regular season, but when the time is right and when it's the climax of the movie, they're going to show up and they're going to be a force, and I have faith.
All right, well, be that as it may, I like my based boys to bully your team into submission here. So we'll see what happens.
That's fine. They can try. They can certainly try, but I think we've got a nice team for peeling. We got a Reyna, Gatsby on Reyna as opposed to Renzo. City is on Kagen. So maybe some easier ways, or maybe some ways to kite the melee bruisers of the Spirit side, the Don Lu and Yagachu connection.
Yeah, and I wonder if Don Lu has made a fatal mistake here. He said easy game, and then he picked Mara, who he does not usually use. Don Lu, known as a specialist, he uses 1, maybe 2 shapers in each role, and Mara, not one of his mains. He may be underestimating the mean green machine here.
Be there.
City in the jungle again. He played out of his mind last game. He did all he could, and he'll try again. This time, Evaniscus on his signature shaper Zalgus, and Ghostly Goat on his main squeeze Ashabel. So you do have a lot going for you. However, on the other hand,
I've got the lore connection here. Reyna and Zalgus, and now
Murder Bush? Oh my goodness. I thought we were going to have someone murdered in the Murder Bush for the first time.
From Evaniscus just misses. Maybe if he caught somebody, he probably could have burned a spellbook spell or something.
Yeah, and I'm going to give Yagachu a little credit there for dodging that, because Evaniscus, the master of the Q, does not miss often. But yeah, Yagachu on Volok again, and as we've talked about before, people usually don't pick the same shaper 2 games in a row in these in-houses, and I'll bet you anything, Yagachu picked Volok again because he's pissed at himself for not doing well last game, and he wants to redeem himself.
Not that he didn't do well last game. It was more like he didn't completely steamroll the enemy team.
Right. But he's used to doing that, and you know he wants to do it this game.
What is this link? I have to look at it.
Wow.
Oh, that.
Blink comes out of Freezy at level 1, which is interesting. I'm not sure he needed to necessarily, as Don Lu did not take, or that's not Don Lu. I don't know what I'm talking about. Xano did not, I see a Kenstone, I think it's Don Lu. Xano did not take Q at level 1, so he did not have the slow. But nonetheless, Freezy's Blink down.
We'll see if that plays into City's jungle path, if he decides to make a pit stop, so to speak, in the top lane and look for the ganks.
Don Lu with Gladiator Mara, and I wonder how effective he can be in that lane. He's up against Kensu Zalgus, which is super tough to lane against for a melee Gladiator. And you can see again the requested combo here, Miyane and Nikken. I gave them what they wanted, now they have to win, right? That's how it works?
They've got to prove you right. And I mean, even me, they made such a compelling case. I didn't feel right splitting up the bros.
Yeah, neither did I. And you can see, oh wow.
Donlu goes in. Yagachu is there though and gets the sneeze. And well, he didn't even need the big chop. As you can see, he's got Sentinel Strike empowered. He just needed a regular auto to finish him there. So Yagachu, ever the opportunist.
Yeah, and I think that Yagachu actually moved back away from Xano there, anticipating a blink, and then moved back in when he realized that Xano was giving in and accepting his fate. So really high-level play there from both people. Yagachu anticipating the blink, and Xano holding on to it and saying, I'm dead no matter what. Really, really good stuff from both players.
Yeah, as you can see, Yagachu just kind of spending the majority of his time in the beginning of the game here at the top half of the map. He hasn't moved on to his haste or his armor, electing to take the mortal side armor, and now he's looking to maybe make something happen over at the Money Pigs, and he's got friends there. This could be disastrous for City. Oh no, smart camera please. City uses his quicksand and tries to escape. Evaniscus lands the Chains of Fate, but it's not going to be enough. Breezy will pick up the kill on City, so Yagachu just kind of nesting up in the top lane. Now Nikin on the run, he lands a Wither onto Ghostly Goat, who actually Gatsby has to blink and get the kill. Now Miyane using Progress Gate to get back underneath the binding, but a nice Wither from Nikin to prevent his death and allow Miyane to get some good damage onto Ghostly Goat on Ashabel.
Yeah, at least they got the blink out of Gatsby there. That's something. But so far, the Miyane-Nikin combo not working out. And
Breezy gets caught out by a chain, uses Flourish, tries to escape. Yagachu is there to help out. Donlu trying to do everything he can. They're going in onto Xanarate. Yagachu is here. He's gonna... Oh, he Curse of Weakness Evaniscus to maybe focus onto Xanarate. Evaniscus now blinks with the chain. With the kill shot's not enough, but the blink is enough. It's a good thing he saved that blink. It got him a kill, and Gatsby with a beautiful rotate. He's gonna tank a couple shots. Oh no, Evaniscus, if he gets Snapdragon camera, why?
Oh! Oh my goodness. Crazy stuff there. And yeah, there you see the result of Xano's composure as he got ganked. It netted him a kill, and he even lived to tell the tale.
I really thought Yagachu was going to get out after the kill shot, but Xanarate saying, no sir, I am not giving this one away. I am catching this fish, and he did.
Really, really nice play from Xanarate so far this game. And Miyane struggling a bit.
We've lost some of them.
Something tells me that Yagachu will be camping that top lane whenever he can. One, because I think Gladiator Mara probably needs the help, and two, because he is teammates with Donlu, and they are on voice chat together.
And yeah, when you're a teammate, you usually have similar playstyles. Miyane kind of botches his Progress Gate, gets a shield from Renzo over the wall, and Yagachu is there as well. But City throws a nice quicksand and uses Heat Wave to prevent Yagachu from any more pursuit.
Miyane face planting there into the wall.
Oh!
Hey. Wow.
Ghostly Goat gets the kill onto Miyane, but now the rotate from the top lane. A nice Gale is going to slow the advance. Evaniscus looks to rotate, but he looks to be a little caught in the middle there. I don't know if he's going to try and 2v1. He's got Kenzu, who's in the lane farming. We are focused on the bottom, and now we're going back up top. Now we're going back bottom. Look at that. I love the light effects from Devoted Friends Arena. It's a very pretty skin.
Yeah, that skin is amazing. The smart camera is giving me an epileptic seizure, but the skin is nice while that's happening.
So much action. Smart camera doesn't know what to do this game. To go trying to storm wall the the kinetic sculpture from Renzo.
Yeah, Mortal Team winning both lanes so far.
Trying to jinx my
They
boys.
have City in the jungle.
Trying to jinx my boys, talking about how well they're doing.
Oh, no, not at all.
This is kind of what happened last game, though. So, you know, it all comes down to those late game parasites because these teams are so, you know, even. All these players are pretty close to skill level. Donlu gets caught underneath the binding, but it looks like he's going to be able to escape. Can Freezy? Oh no! The Void Breaker misses completely, just a bit outside. And now Yagachu is there from behind. He gets the Curse of Weakness, and the Damnation's ticking away. The big chops are going to be the end of Kenzu once again,
Maybe I did jinx them because, yeah, big swing there. They baited the ults out of both of the Mortal Team players, Xano and Evaniscus, and got nothing for it. Except a brutal death at the hands of Yagachu.
for those asking about the smart camera, I got to kind of leave it on just so me and Sportsmith can be seeing the same thing at the same time.
Oh, and there's the classic Renzo stun on a minion. For anyone who's ever played Renzo, yeah, for anyone who's ever played Renzo, you know it's going to happen at least once per game.
No, I flip 1 minion a game on Cerulean. It's a rule.
Tradition. Gatsby and I once had a conversation about how you are literally obligated to stun 1 minion per game.
You have to. It's like you got to pay the toll.
Yep. You don't do that, it's some bad juju.
Got to pay the troll toll. Get into that boy's hole. The stun onto Gatsby. He uses Repelling Strike. Ghostly tries to land a Gale.
Yagachu with 2 kills this game, so he's in a much better position than he was at the early part of last game. And unfortunately for Mortal Team, 2 of their kills are on Gatsby, on Reyna, who is not who you want to get the kills, perhaps the worst person.
Uh-oh, Evaniscus seems to be in a bit of trouble here. He is surely going to fall, which he will. Xanarate trying to do some work onto King of Masks, but there are too many bros up there for him to really get too aggressive for that kill. City is looking for maybe if they dive to counter, but he's just going to recall in the bush instead.
Yeah, and the gentleman, Yagachu, once again intentionally giving up the kill so that Don Lu could get it. This guy's manners just off the charts.
Spirit side kind of evening the game here now, 4-4 in the kill department, maybe about to be 5-4.
Boy.
The Curse of Weakness comes in, he uses Blink, eats the Drain, uses Void Breaker, but Damnation, and Donlu actually picks up the last hit with the Bramble Crush.
So now the base players have 2 kills apiece, and that is bad news for the Berenstein Bears, aka the Mortal Team.
Or like
They're
the
gonna
Bad News Bears.
Right, that too. Yeah, that skin is super cool.
The
That's
lighting effects.
super tanky
Look
now.
at the lighting effects on Renzo's body. Like, that's the little subtleties. I love that kind of nonsense.
Renzo's body has never looked more magnificent than when illuminated.
It's light. Stop this fighting and just revel in Renzo's magnificence.
Reyna blinded by her own skin's effect there. She was mesmerized by Renzo's back.
You could say she was blinded by the light. Oh, the Wisdom's Reach, as well as the Wrath of Heaven and the final chapter. But Gatsby has to blink in to get another kill. And now Nikken looking to escape, and Yagachu is here. There's the big haul. They pick up Renzo, and now they change the attention onto Yagachu. But Donlu with a nice Snapdragon over the binding. City picks up Donlu, but now not Donlu, he picked up someone else. The King of Masks, not the King of Masks, the Yagachu is what I meant. And King of Masks, oh, a nice flourish to avoid the Gale. Evaniscus gets locked down under the binding and gets dropped. Xanarate is eating binding shots, but he's trying to get onto Donlu. Oh no! And now Gatsby looking to get another kill. He's gonna die to the binding though. Oh no! And Xanarate drops as well.
Wow, that was a
Oh, but the
crazy
binding. Okay, so Xanarate was an execute. No one got the credit for the kill on there, but he falls nonetheless.
Yeah, Gatsby blinking in for multiple auto attack kills on Reyna this game. And yeah, that was just a completely wild fight there. It was a nice juke by Freezy on Khan there to avoid the Q from Ghostly Goat, but he took Freezy out with the auto in the end. And yeah, so much stuff happening. I think if the binding hadn't executed Xano, it would have been worth for Don Lu to stay under the binding at the end. He made the conscious decision to stay underneath it and attempt to trade back kills with the binding. He got one, but I think it only would have been worth it if he had gotten both of those.
Yeah, I don't think anyone realized that Xanarate had been completely 100 to 0'd by the binding. In the initial part of the dive, he was tanking a lot of the binding shots while Gatsby was underneath, knocking people around with his shield and his hammer. So then when he came back into it, the binding picked him up, and Evaniscus gets stunned, and now Reyna is here, but Yagachu always showing up from behind. Ghostly tries to knock him back. Evaniscus will fall, and now the finale comes out, and the Wrath of Heaven, Gatsby trying to repel the advance of the Spirit side. Xanarate looked like he had to DC, but he is now back.
Yeah, I also have to call out in the earlier fight that Miyane had a nice insta-dispel of Gatsby's ult, and then Evaniscus landed the Q right after.
Oh no, the Masterpiece knocks up Xanarate as well with Mara, using Nature's Fury to get the stun off City, now caught out underneath his own binding. He will drop. Miyane gets the double kill, and a binding as well for their troubles.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Oh no,
Dave.
don't try to save that binding, you fools.
A mortal binding has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's
So
like I
now-
can barely stop to pause and talk about a fight before another one happens.
I know, it's certainly been a very action-packed game, as 20 kills already in this game, and we're only 14 minutes in, so I love that, though.
Yeah, this is wild. Gatsby with 3 kills on Reyna, and he is just going to be super beefy. Where's the beef? It's on Gatsby, and he even steals the jungle monster from Yagachu there. Donlu looking to be super aggro as always.
Mortal binding has been destroyed.
Taking out more bindings. Now Spirit side seems to be getting their act together a little bit more here in the mid-game, as we transition into the mid-game.
Another nice Q from Evaniscus there, as usual. Nika needs to not recall there, yeah, and he gets out of dodge. I also like the restraint from Yagachu there. He did not pop his ult when there was a chance to fight. So, good job being patient. I feel like there is a small window here for Spirit Team to fight while City's hook is down, but it will be up shortly, I believe. Let's look at that cooldown. Yep, it's up now.
I want to take a minute to take a look at the items, but I feel like a fight is going to break out at any minute. Here comes Yagachu. The quicksand goes down, but the blitz is a little bit late on the draw. The blinks are down, the ults are down. There's the damnation. There's the void breaker. Asherbell will drop. The final chapter is out from Evaniscus, but he does not get any kills. They are very low. A beautiful big hole from City. That was out of this world. And Evaniscus giving chase as well, lands the chain onto Freezy. They're looking to get the kill. Reyna gets a nice shockwave. Freezy will not drop, but the Wisdom's reach. Gatsby picks up another kill. Now the attention changes back to Donlu, who will drop to Xanarate, and now Immortal Side is cooking with some fire.
Oh my god.
That hook was out of control. I didn't even know how that happened.
City popped some PCP earlier tonight. He is out of his mind. Great hook for him. There's so much to talk about in that fight. Yagachu blitzed after he was already slowed, so the blitz was basically worthless. And he went in with the ult anyway. They got a kill, and then he was just standing inside the wall for so long. He was living inside the wall like Harry Potter. And when he emerged, City just hooked him right into the binding. Great job there by City.
That was crazy. I don't even know how that hook happened. I thought I heard it going off, and then the next thing I know, just 2 people got like dragged across the entire screen. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and another great Q from Evaniscus. Another auto attack kill from Gatsby. These fights are completely bonkers.
So we finally reached more minutes in the game. Oh no, never mind. What am I talking about? There's 25 kills now. I was like, oh no, yeah, 13 kills and we're 15 minutes in, but nope, I forgot to look at both sets of kills.
I think Gatsby has gotten 4 auto attack kills on Reyna. The deadliest Reyna.
I mean, he went ham onto Freezy at the end there. He landed like the bounce from Shockwave onto Freezy and like was just giving chase. Finally had to throw down the Wisdom's Reach and get the auto, but Nice to see Reyna kind of throwback to the old raid boss Reyna. He's 4-1-7 with that prosperity and equilibrium, so he's doing a nice job here. As you can see, some of the rest of the items here, ones to take note of. Donlu has the glory, the discipline, and the balance. Maybe looking to go a little bit of on-hit to supplement his aura. Miane working on the haste. Oh no, final chapter goes down. Donlu is involved here. He gets slowed from the quicksand there, giving chase to Finale, tries to slow it down. Another big haul. Xanarate gets another kill. Evaniscus looking to end Freezy underneath the binding, but he gets snared. The duress at max range, and he will drop.
Wow, and actually, Nicken going in
Oh,
hard
the Wrath of
here.
Heaven! Oh, he blinks out of it.
Nicken needs to be careful. That Mortal team still has Parasite buff.
And here's Miane, though. He lands the Chaos Shell. Yagachu coming around from the rear once again. That's his favorite point of entry.
I don't blame him. Yeah, Yagachu looking to
Oh, and
flank
now
here.
he's in all three of them. Four of them. The damnation's ticking, but he's got no support. You can't leave Yagachu alone like that.
Oh, wow. The rest of his team was not in position there. More miscommunication. And it's weird. It's only 2 more kills for the Mortal team than there are for the Spirit team, but it feels like the Mortal team.
Oh, and a Wisdom's Reach gets 3 people. There's the Dispel from Miane. He's trying to run away. Freezy looking to go away. Can Gatsby get another kill? He gets it with the Shockwave, but now he's eating binding shots, and Varian surely is going to get a kill there. And Kagan did some kind of stun, but the camera's taking us over here. Donlu giving chase to Ashabel. She's going to try and kite with these Gales. This is all about Kenny land the Snapdragon. Evaniscus lands the chain just to keep the Snapdragon out of range, and now they're going to chase down onto Mara. Will they continue the fight? Another chain lands, a slipstream lands, the Dispel, the Duress hits them, and Ghostly picks up the kill. So with help from Evaniscus, Ghostly Goat turns a bad situation into a good one. I don't know how that fight with Kagan and Varian ended up. I can assume Varian won the fight since he is currently breathing and Kagan is respawning. And now Ghostly Goat, I don't think he's going to get away from this one too, but this is spell from the Curse of Weakness. Oh, noes.
And
Another
that's
wasted
Yagachu's
Dispel.
Blitz down. Yagachu's Blitz is down. It'll be down for the next team fight, certainly with how quickly these team fights are happening. But yeah, Miane did win that fight away from the comfort of Smart Camera. He got a double kill. So he's actually in a decent spot now, 4-2. Spirit Team does have Vim on their damage dealers, which is good. But look at Ghostly Goat, 5-1 on Ashabel. And let's not forget about Gatsby, nearly unkillable.
Uh-oh. I thought Xanarate might have been having some like connection issues. He was just kind of standing in place. Luckily, he had friends around.
I imagine he was typing there. Yeah, Yagachu in a bit of a weird spot here. He has his ult, but he does not have Blitz. And you generally want to use the two together. So you may have to use Blitz as a counter engage here. I mean, not his ult rather, excuse me, his ult as a counter engage measure here. If his team gets aggressed, or if he gets aggressed on by Evaniscus and Xana.
The Voidbreaker, the final chapter, the Wisdom's Reach. That's 3 ultimates down. Damnation comes up, but it's too little too late. They pick up Yagachu, the Wrath of Heaven. It's going to get some damage onto Nicken and Freezy. A lot of mitigation there between Renzo's shield. Gatsby doing everything he can to take down the binding. They get it. The snare from Zalgus, the Masterpiece, knocks up 3 people. The Bramble Crush tries to separate him. City's here with his quicksand and the stuns. And Nicken using as many shields as possible, but he's gonna fall to City.
Yeah, and Yagachu just out of position there. The earlier time when he was caught, it might have been his team not following up, but in that case, he was trying to flank and he was way too isolated there. And you saw him try to use the ult to sustain himself at the very end, but it was way too little, way too late. I think he should have either saved the ult or he should have used it much earlier and just engaged and hoped that his team would follow up and get something out of it.
I think the chain of CC was just too much for him. The Voidbreaker and the stuns and the snares and the Wisdom's Reach. It was just, he wasn't able to use his ultimate early enough. And now Mortal side looking to get even more of an advantage by taking Parasite. Someone should go down and cap that bot well before recalling. Maybe that's what Ashabel or Kenzu will do.
Yeah, and Mortal Team in the lead now. We see Spirit Team's items. They've bought Donlu with a Glory, which is interesting. You see a lot of people prefer Vengeance on Mara, but it's going to be a Glory for Donglu along with a Betrayal. Yagachu has that Decay. He also has a Balance and a Freedom. Prosperity, Duress, and Aggression for Freezy. Nikken with the Devotion and a Resolve. And Miyane, after that double kill, has Ambition, Dominance, and Ruin. And now the Mortal Team has bought. It's going to be an Ambition, a Pain, and a Ruin for Xano. Prosperity, Duress, Energy for Evaniscus. City has Subjugation and Rebirth. Ghostly Goat way ahead with Destruction, Pain, Chaos, and an Aggression. And Gatsby huge. Prosperity, Equilibrium, and Rebirth.
And the double pain for the Mortal side, which is really, really smart on both of the Gladiator, both of the carry shapers. So, I mean, and it's a wise pickup because between the three of the biggest problems, and, you know, Varians always end up getting a little bit of lifesteal. So those two pains are going to shut down potentially 4 different shapers on the Mortal side. So not a bad decision to pick up 2.
Yeah,
Nikken,
smart itemization there.
Man, Nikken having to use Masterpiece to escape the chain of CCs along with the Duresses. It's just really Evaniscus. It's a beautiful snare. And now the Quicksand to try and cut off Donglu. He's going to have to blink, but he avoids a Void Breaker for his troubles.
The mortal
Interesting
team
choice
has
there to
captured
take
a well.
Blink on Mara. That's not something you see every day. Generally, that's a shaper people pick Blitz on, but Donglu choosing Blink instead. He at least got the ult out of Xano, so not a terrible trade. But of course, Xano's ult will be up long before Donglu's Blink.
Ooh, that chaos just makes that Asherbell poke hurt that much more.
Yep, and Mortal Team with the Strider has a good chance to siege here.
Donglu pops the ult and
Yagachu.
goes in. City looks to be caught out here. He gets eaten by a binding shot, and Miyane gets credit for that kill. A blink from Zalgus as he tries to run. The Wisdom's Reach comes out. Donglu is on the chase, as well as Yagachu, who's going to get taken down kind of low here. Gatsby doing everything he can to keep the 3 big-bodied bruisers from the Spirit side away from his squishy carry friends. Doing a nice job of it, but I don't... Oh, no! Donglu lands a nice Snapdragon, but the Storm Wall and the Gales are going to try and kite. The Bramble crushes down. Yagachu trying to give chase. He wants to land Curse of Weakness. He wants to land it and get the big chop to dispel on the Curse of Weakness. The chase continues, but he's going to have to give up the goat there.
A spirit binding has
Literally,
been destroyed.
give up the goat. Ghost
That was a
goat.
spicy juke there from Donglu, moving out of the way to that Q that might have killed him. And a really nice dispel for the second time this game from Ghostly Goat, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, though, Miyane getting pretty big here, slowly but surely, 6-2 now. He hasn't bought again, but when he does, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. If you look at the Mortal Team,
Yeah, he's almost at about 3K.
Gatsby's Equilibrium will help a lot, and you can see that City does have that Adamance. So between the two of them, they will be able to stave off a lot of Miyane's damage. If he gets a Judgment or a Rage, okay, so he doesn't. Interesting. He gets a Fate. I'm not quite sure about that pickup here because I feel like those kills could have netted him a significant advantage against the front line of the Mortal Team, but now he'll still struggle to damage them.
Well, the synergy of Fate and Ruin, it can never be overlooked. I really like that combination. I don't know if maybe an Insight would have been better this early, but I can't really be too sure. The Void Breaker comes out as well as the final chapter. Damnation is up, but the Pain's doing work, not allowing Bollock to get any of the lifesteal off. So Yagachu being caught out.
A spirit binding
The
has
CC
been
chain
destroyed.
on this Mortal side is just really, really something to be reckoned with. I'm surprised we don't see maybe momentums or stabilities coming out to prevent these just death chains that come out. The Wrath of Heaven comes on to maybe force them off the binding. Mortal's looking to do some damage, but they're going to have to maybe wait for Parasite, which should be spawning any minute now. I think they finished it around 21 or 22. Yeah, we don't see... Oh, no, we still have a Strider. I don't know about the next wave, though.
3 ults are down for Mortal Team, but critically they have the Wombo Engage ults with Kagan and Red still. If people clump up on the Spirit Team, they could get caught by an Evaniscus Q and then an ult from a tank, so they do need to be careful here. It is 5v5 once again now, And Yagachu's ult is actually back up. Very short cooldown on that one. You can see that Zano's ult used to kill Yagachu is still down. Ooh.
Going aggressive in this fight, not electing to stay on Parasite. The Masterpiece works well with the finale from King of Mass, but Nicked is caught out from his team. The Quicksand doing a really nice job. The Wrath of Heaven comes down, gets 2 people. The Damnation is ticking, but Pain, once again, Ghostly Goat gets the kill. Dawnlu now looking to maybe get into the back line. City uses Big Halt onto Miane. They take him out, but City falls as well. They change their focus onto Dawnlu and now onto Freezy. They get him. This will be a 2 for 5 and the ace for the Mortal side. Not electing to do Parasite.
Extra for multiple.
Maybe
That
looking to push
Mara
into the base.
That Mara for Dawnlu, I feel like it did not work out this game, at least thus far. He's been up in them guts, but he hasn't gotten much accomplished. And Yagachu, CC'd by Evaniscus that time, he got queued and rooted and was really unable to have an impact. So great job from Evaniscus there, shutting down what could have been a massive threat. See that Gatsby's up. I feel like Mortal Team will back off here, and yeah, they do. Or not Gatsby, excuse me. I saw Renzo and thought Gatsby. It's actually Nicken. But yeah, as you mentioned earlier, great synergy initially between Renzo ult and Com ult, which is not always the case. Those ults both displacing people, so to have both of them hit multiple people can be tricky to pull off. They got it done, but unfortunately for them, it did not result in a one-team fight.
So Parasite is up. Depending on how this next fight goes, that could be a big swing in momentum if Spirit side can steal it or just take it outright. But I don't think Mortal is going to let them do it without a fight.
And you can see Yagachu just clearing out his jungle here. Nothing better to do. I imagine he wants to stay at least relatively close to Parasite, but it looks like both teams are just backing off momentarily. They won't outright contest it, not without a team fight happening first, or at least a pick. However, Yagachu does show himself at the Spirit Well.
Yeah.
Will Mortal Team rush Parry? You can see pings on it, but instead they're going for a pick. Gatsby momentarily thinking about ulting there, I think. Decides against it, which I think was the right call.
Has captured a well.
But because of perhaps some indecision from Mortal Team, Yagachu...
Ooh, the Tailwind is popped, and the Blink lands the Duress, the final chapter, as well as everything else. He will drop. The Wrath of Heaven misses. Nicken uses Tailwind to try and get out of dodge, but a max-range Voidbreaker gets him, and he's going to get locked down on the Quicksand. Xanarate gets the double kill, so wow, that was a super max-range Voidbreaker with the Tailwind from Nicken, but got him all the way at the end. And as you know, the further Voidbreaker travels, the longer the fear is. So he got a max duration fear there, which allowed City to come in and the rest of his team and pick that kill as well. Gatsby is in there onto Miane, who has to dispel the Chains of Fate from Zalgus. Now Dawnlu picks up Ghostly Goat. Yagachu pops Blitz, and the Damnation ticks away. He gets Evaniscus, changes his focus onto Xanarate. City tries to save him with a big haul, but I don't think he and Gatsby have enough damage to 2v3 the rest of this team. This could be bad now because Spirit side is going to probably rush Parasite, but not before they try to kill City first, who uses Blitz to avoid the Bramble Crush. He lands the Heat Wave, the Quicksand, but the Snapdragon allows for the follow. Now he's in trouble. The Adamance goes off, tries to slow everybody, but the Bramble Crush in the chase is just too much.
Yeah, another crazy fight there, and for the first time, Dawnlu did major work, in part as a result of the Guardian's abilities, but yeah, Miane actually pulling Gatsby away from that fight. Gatsby wanting to get yet another kill on Reyna. This time it was not to be. Miane escaped back to the fountain, healed up back to full, and came back in and killed everybody. So now, Gatsby's aggression not paying off that time.
Despite everything that's happened, now this is an even game because of that Parasite. 3 level 20s on the Spirit side, only 1 level 20 on the Mortal side, so the experience advantage, having those 3 extra spellbook spells for however long they can keep that advantage will be big. It's going to be not super easy for Immortal to close this out. They're trying to save this Spirit Well from being capped. They're going
Donlu
to.
has to leave right now or he's dead.
Donlu is going to try and fight it, though. Goat uses the spell to try and get away. The final chapter as... Oh, no. He stunned him out of the final chapter, so he still has it up. He's going to try and land another chain. The duress comes out. There's the final chapter, and Donlu will be shut down on that Spirit Well.
Donlu, and again, that's the greed right there. We saw it in the other game. When Ashabel used her ult to stop Donlu from taking the well, that was the win for Donlu. He got the Ashabel ult out of Ghostly Goat, and he should have left immediately. When you get hit and you're the only person on the Spirit Well, it takes a long, long time for the capture to start up again. Donlu needed to leave immediately, and that was the classic overstay that led to his death there. He tried to turn it on Ghostly Goat, trade a kill for a kill, but too many people on the mortal side.
Ghostly Goat quietly having a 10-2 and 12 Ashabel game to go along with 231 farm. So he is well ahead. Maybe not the wisest decision for Donlu to try to solo. Well, he tried to solo Ghostly Goat and then friends came, but still maybe not the best decision he's ever made.
Yeah, and you can see the short cooldown on the Zalgus ult there already back up. He used it to kill Donlu, Evaniscus did.
Yeah, but with a Chaos and a Duress, that's certainly going to help Zalgus's cooldowns. Can we actually see that? His cooldown percent?
I like this play here from the Spirit team, looking to set up a pick here, or perhaps even contest the Spirit Well straight up because they can see Ashabel top lane, so they know they won't be outnumbered.
Oh, be very, very quiet. We are hunting Zalgus. Evaniscus gonna be in trouble here. He's gonna drop instantly. The focus now changes onto Gatsby. Donlu uses his ultimate. They're going to give chase, but a nice blink from Gatsby with Rebirth ticking away. He might try to escape here. Oh no, the team is trying to rotate in time. But now that they're split apart, maybe Mortal can collapse on the backline here as Yagachu and Donlu give chase. They're really hungry for some Gatsby right now. Dude, look at that Bastion of the North just mitigating all that damage. But here's Mortal side. Will they get the kill on Nick? And they do. The big haul. Miyane has to use Dispel and Progress Gate to get out of the rest of that fight. Now Spirit side looking to push into the binding even further, push into the base.
Yeah, great job delaying there by Gatsby. He made the team split for so long that Nick actually got killed while that chase was happening.
Spirit team
So
has
Gatsby
captured
doing what he
a
could
well.
there to even things out. However, Miyane, real big now, 9-3.
This game, you just gotta take a moment. This has been a very, very fun game. I hope, it looks like everyone's watching it. I'm having a blast casting this game. I love games with all these, I mean, look at it. 57 kills in a 35-minute game. I love that stuff. And this is high-level play. This isn't, you know, the land of Bronzodia where everyone's just feeding left and right. These are just good players playing their shapers at a high level, and you just see the potential when you have that sort of, when you have those sort of, this sort of scenario.
Yeah, and it's been close the whole way through, and it still is. Either team could easily win the game at this point. You see many people approaching full build here. 5 items for Xano. You have almost 6 for Ghostly Goat. The same goes for Donlu. Yagachu a bit far away. He only has about 4.5, I would say. And then Miyane, when he buys, he will have the full 6-item build. So Miyane will be the first to make it to 6, and on Varian, that's a scary proposition.
Yeah, he is going to be, yep, there he goes. He finishes off the Judgment. He's going to buy those pots as well. He's going to be very tough to kill if he's got all of his spellbook spells up between Dispel, Blink, and Blitz. To go along with Progress Gate, he is going to be a slippery little gunman.
Yeah, and Xano actually DC'd there a split second after buying that Freedom. And I wonder if buying is making him DC. That's something to keep an eye on for Waystone's sake.
Well, he is also, oh, not at 6 yet. I guess he's going to go for a Momentum. Would be the guess there.
And I don't know if that's the right call. He has a very tanky front line to protect him, and if he's not doing as much damage as Miyane, that could be a big problem. His team is not incredibly high damage. They're not low damage by any means, but they need a lot from him, so we'll see if it pays off. He does need to live, so that Freedom might be a good call.
It does give a good bit of haste as well, but Mortal side going for an aggressive Parasite here. Spirit is aware of their plans and are looking to get in on this fight. Are they going to get off their attention off of Parasite rather than Heaven? Hits 2 people, the finale comes out. Xanarate has to blink to safety. Damnation from Yagachu is ticking away. The blitzers are coming now. Gatsby uses Wisdom's Reach, trying to stun people underneath the binding. Donlu trying to get on Evaniscus. Xanarate drops, so the ADC is dead, and now Spirit side has this fight. They pick up Zalgus as well. City looks to be the next victim. He dies to the Volok Devour Sneeze. Ghostly Goat on the run, trying to land those Gales. He used Blink already. He uses Dispel there, but I don't think they were going to chase too much further than that. This could be rough. Now for the Mortal side, I hope they don't decide to surrender here. It's not over yet, boys!
No, it's
Have
not
some
over, but that
faith.
was... Yeah, that
He
was
got
a
caught
very...
trying to do Parasite foolishly.
Yeah, that was a very questionable para call there. I don't know why they started it. There was no reason to whatsoever. And Xano had the right idea trying to get that momentum because he got engaged on and he got bounced back and forth by displacement like ball in a cup from Family Guy. That was just gross. And now Spirit Team will take the binding as well. And that might have been the final swing there. The game isn't over, but that para buff is going to mean a lot for Spirit Team here in the base of Mortal Team for the first time.
I don't know if they're going to be... No, the Chicken Nugget Factory health core is still up, so the Guardian not quite dead yet. Ooh, the Slipstream takes Nicken out from max range, and now Spirit side's going to have to give up this this push into the base. So they did get all of the cores. They still have the bottom binding alive, but Mortal side can ill afford another wipe like they just had, or it will surely be curtains for them. Oh no, the death push strat. But Gatsby is so tanky that they weren't able to burst him down immediately. Rather, Emma comes down, Freezy's gonna drop, Dolnu's gonna drop, Miyane is the only one left alive, and now the Despair Ghost's doing the slows. He's gonna get stopped by the duress, and that is an ace. So Gatsby being so tanky, he was able to survive that death push. He did not get bursted at all. And Kagan was able to big haul 2 people away from the fight. They were able to take out people one by one. That was just like a plan gone wrong.
What a massive backfire there from the Spirit Team. Yeah, they were all stacked up to try to kill Gatsby, Gatzilla, and Evaniscus just queued all of them and put down massive CC and damage. And another huge swing. This game is wild. My donger is at full mast right now.
This is the most seesaw game I've ever seen. But it's been hell of a fun game to watch, so I'm okay with it. Let the throws commence.
Nicken back up.
Going for Wells at 40 minutes. I don't know about that. I mean,
yeah. Jeez. Good thing Nicken died before everybody else as usual because he scared them up there.
Spore, you're just trashing on Miane's boy.
Jeez, what a game. This is wild. Mortal Team has 0 cores here, and Spirit Team still has 3. However, Spirit Team no bindings, Mortal Team 1. And still a really, really close game. I thought it would be a huge swing after that para fight, and now it's exactly even again.
So this one isn't over yet. Mortal is going to have a tough time finishing the game as long as Parasite is up for the Spirit side. So they're going to have to wait this out and try not to die before that happens. So the push is on. They're going to eventually, this is going to spill into the Mortal side base. They have no cores up, so they're going to have to be careful how they choose to do this fight. Maybe Spirit side looks to do another death bush somewhere else, and maybe they'll pick a different target than Gatsby this time.
Yeah, and what's critical here is that Donlu and Yagachu, who have struggled somewhat this game, are now both full build. So their previous struggles now have no meaning. Miyane, of course, full build. Xano has his, and Ghostly Goat has his. So 3 full builds on the side of Spirit Team, 2 for Mortal Team.
I shall handle.
Well, Gatsby's almost at full build. He's just got to turn that resolve into either an empathy or a hope. So
Has captured a well.
Yeah, I would like to see an empathy, actually.
yeah, I would too. Empathy just gives so many stats. Really, really great item. Uh-oh.
Ooh, some dangerous positioning here.
Positioning mishap.
Rumble
Maybe.
in the jungle. Oh, wow, they're going to go for the
going.
back
They're
door.
going for it. Can Spirit get there? I don't think they can burst the Guardian down this quickly. They're going to have to fight.
Boy.
They're going to have to fight. This is not going to be an easy win here. So here they go. The blitzes are on. The dispels are on. Oh, the big haul pulls Yagachu and Dawnlu away from Ghostly Goat and Xanarate. But Xanarate uses Thrill of the Hunt. He gets them all very low. City is there using Dust Devil, trying to finish people. The Slipstream. The Gale gets a kill. And now the slow and the kill onto King of Mask. Yagachu, the only one left. That is an ace for Spirit side. Triple kill for Ghostly Goat. And are they going to go to Parasite, or are they going to try and finish the game? They
They're
have
gonna
enough
try to
time.
end, I
There's a
think.
minute
Yeah,
on
I
these
think they're
respawns.
That was crazy. They tried to go for the back door, but as you said, you can't burn down the Guardian that quickly in Dawngate. Back doors are much, much harder. And even though the Mortal team was slightly out of position, they were still relatively close.
City
then in the
with
fight,
that hook.
yeah, great hook by City, and also City soaking a ton of damage in that fight. They tried to kill him, and with that rebirth, it just didn't work out. They blew all their abilities on him, and the rest of the team came in to clean up. They were also split during that fight, Spirit Team was. Some of them were still trying to backdoor the Guardian as Mortal Team came in. Yagachu and Dawnlu not team fighting initially, and it cost them. And it looks like Mortal Team is going to win the game right here and now.
G effing G, boys. This is probably my favorite one of these in-houses we've done so far. I'm going to have to make a highlight out of this game.
What a wild game. And yeah, GG.
GG.
Great stuff.
Victorious.
Back and forth the whole way. Some crazy, crazy plays. And you know what? I got to hand it to Mortal Team. I feel like even though it was so close all the way through, Mortal Team deserved that win. They had some awesome stuff that game.
Dawnlu regrets his easy game comment earlier on, I'm sure.
Dawnlu had to eat his words. I talked about it during Schaefer Select, that he picked that Mara after saying easy game, and that's when you know. That's when you know that Dawnlu is getting cocky. We've seen it before. In the initial set of in-houses that Dawnlu played in, he was undefeated for about 3 games, and then he said, you pick Dawnlu, you win. And then he picked Petrus, another shaper he doesn't typically use, and lost that game. Dawnlu, consistently a victim of his own overconfidence, but I don't want to take anything away from Mortal Team. They played so spectacularly well this game. It's really, really tough to pick a single MVP, so I'm going to give you first crack at it since you picked this team.
Oof. It's very tough. I want to give it to City because some of those hooks were just out of control, especially the one earlier on that was like across the entire screen. It was just him or Ghostly Go. Can I give them co-MVPs? I mean, is that allowed? Because Ghostly Go, with that great escape he had earlier on, and just being in the right place at the right time, and kiting and doing all the things you need to do to stay alive on Ashabel, but he wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for City and Gatsby too. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even know. They all played incredibly.
Exactly. It's a testament to how well everybody played, that both of us are torn on the MVP. I am too. I'm thinking of at least 2 or 3 different people. But I do want to keep up tradition here and choose one. And I'm actually going to go with Gatsby 2 games in a row here. And I don't know if I've ever done that. I don't know that I've ever given out MVP to the same person in 2 consecutive games, but I'm going to do it here. It's an historic moment for Dodgeball Mode. Ordinary Gatsby doing all kinds of work with Reyna, getting 4 auto attack kills early game and being unkillable in team fights after that. He had a great, I believe it was a 4-man ult at one point, and was just a very imposing presence in team fights. So Gatsby, well done. You are the first consecutive winner of MVP titles for me.
Very well deserving. I still have to give it. I'm going to give co-MVPs. I'm going to go with City and Ghostly Goat. But
All right, so,
takes nothing away from Ordinary Gatsby. Not so ordinary. Oh, not so ordinary. That game.
Nothing ordinary about that Rainzilla. So let's get the third game underway here. I assume you can continue, right?
What?
You can continue, right? You
Oh
can
yeah,
do
yeah, I'm good to go. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna
Okay.
leave after that game.
All right, here we go.